I was first introduced to TETRA Hearing when they premiered. During their launch in 2019, WILDFOWL magazine was privileged to be one of the first to check it out. And you're always apprehensive because there have been so many hearing devices come down the pike over the years, and they all offer some benefit, but they all come with discomfort, impracticality. They go over your ears. You don't want to wear them when it's hot. Lots of wind noise, different things, charging systems. You know, they no doubt did a lot of good for a lot of people over the years, but I had heard that this company was trying to break through with something that was really going to be by hunters for hunters. And of course, the gentlemen that started it are 100% waterfowlers. It's by hunters for hunters, but now it's moving into all hunting and even surpassing that realm for all lifestyle needs where you want to protect your hearing from ongoing damage, especially if they've learned at sustained levels, especially as they have learned that it can cause dementia, early onset aging problems, and cognitive disorders, and all this other terrifying stuff, to be honest. It's no longer just a matter of inconvenience and annoying the people, the cameraman that you're working with, your people in the blind that can't hear you, or missing, as a waterfowler, the critical shot calling when the pit boss yells, "Take 'em." And if you've been there like me, if you wear foamies or anything else, you can miss so much on a hunt. Well, now you don't have to. And TETRA sought to solve that problem because they were duck hunters that were dissatisfied, frankly, with what was on the market. But they weren't just duck hunters. They were audiologists professionally their entire career prior. And I'm so over the moon excited because if there's any place that you want to be able to test a hearing protective device, it's where we are on this hunt. In central Alberta, we're chasing the very last stages of the snow goose migration. It's a thrill to be here, something I've always dreamed of. It's almost mid-May. It's after turkey season is winding down in so much of the country. And the snow geese, all season long, from Louisiana all the way to central provinces, Saskatchewan and Alberta, they can take their time, hop a million grain fields. They have farm fields to choose from, wherever they want to fuel up, whatever they don't like, the pressure they feel, they could just leave. That's why they're so difficult to hunt. And some of these birds are 20 to 25 years old, 5 times older than a really mature white-tailed buck, to put that in perspective. They're not easy, but they get goofy up here, I have heard. It's the last place they can access grain and farm fields before they do what biologists call jumping the trees, jumping the forest, flying over the vast thousands of miles of boreal forest to reach their Arctic and tundra and their breeding grounds. This is their last chance to really get healthy, get strong, full of food, fuel up for the journey, and there's very low hunting pressure, so they kind of fall back into a triple combination of a snow goose rut. They start the breeding season, the breeding rituals, they get a little goofy. They get goofy because of low pressure, and they have that desperation to fuel up for the journey and to breed and to nest because they won't have food up there for quite some time. So it's a thrilling opportunity because the limit is 50 birds. If things go our way, there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of shots. There's no place you could possibly imagine where you could need hearing protection more, yet so many hunters choose not to protect themselves. They'll think nothing of dropping $2,000 on an Italian shotgun, but buying hearing devices for way less than half of that is beyond out of the question. I think it's because people don't believe they'll work. We have to change that culture. Take it from someone who has a 60% loss in his right ear. It's creating a lot of aggravation, and I started using Tetras. Yeah, it was a beautiful thing. We got out early on a scouting mission, did a little hunting. Just the very first evening we were here, and I could hear snow geese wings at 60 and 80 yards above my layout blind. And it was such a thrill to hear that. I could still hear ducks with my damaged hearing ripping through the decoys close, that tearing of the paper sound that teal make. But I'd never heard the snow geese at 60 and 80 yards. There's a whole world awaiting people who already have damage. There's a whole world to avoid for people who have not yet reached that point. I just implore everyone to invest in your own health for the future of hearing your kids whispering in the duck blind, the turkeys gobble, the ducks chatter, and for hearing that guy call the shot. You don't want to be the last person sitting up in the blind. And I'm way too young to be experiencing that. I am, but Tetra's changed it all for me. I can't wait to do more with them and see how it goes on this once-in-a-lifetime hunt.